What's up, YouTube? Through the Dark One, minus bullet marks, as you can see in my different background than I normally have. Basically, this is going to serve as episode 16 of the Roundtable, since technically, due to technical problems, we lost 2 episodes. We lost this last one that we filmed yesterday and the one before it, and I didn't want to be too behind. And so I'm just going to do this one solo to get it out there, to get the info out there, because I don't want to be too behind and whatever. But we did record it yesterday, so it's mostly just catch up and a handful of new things that I just learned, and I figured I'd just throw it in there, sort of thing. So let's get going. First off, to catch up things you missed, or, well, that we talked about that never got uploaded. Not really anybody missed. But anyway, you know what I mean. Let's see. Oldest news first. NECA announced, or it's out there on multiple sites, on toy sites, Big Bad Toy Store, Alter Ego Comics, Entertainment Earth. It's on a lot of sites still. They're making yet another portal gun. Now they've done technically 3. If one was a convention exclusive. 2 were retail versions. It's a replica of the portal gun from the game Portal, the Aperture Science portal gun. Lights, sounds, all the bells and whistles. Fairly large. And the originals ran about $400. You really can't find them anywhere anymore, unless you're buying them from someone who bought them. But NECA kind of announced a newer one. It's being built as the customize your own portal gun. Yeah. And basically what it does, the only difference in the guns from the single player version to the co-op version is the colors that are on it. And what this one does is it is significantly smaller. Still have yet to find exact dimensions. Only thing I can find is the difference in shipping weight. The original ones were about a good 15, 16, 17 pounds. These are only about like 12. So they're probably significantly smaller, but they're still a decent sized replica that you could put your hand in, and it doesn't, it's not like it's going to be this big. It'd probably be at least the size of like a laptop or something. But the thing about it is customizable. It comes with snap-on plastic pieces to simulate what would be painted on the other. So if you want the, like blue one from the co-op, you just put the blue on it, and it's the co-op gun. If you want the yellow on it, you put the yellow on it. Or if you want to mix and match, you can do that. But the also neat thing about it is that it has all the different colors of the lights in it, and it makes the sounds. So it's not actually a bad deal if you don't already have the other ones. And plus, this one is only $100. So, yeah, let's see, other catch-up news. If you watch the show, my usual co-star, Mr. Bullet Marks, he wants to get into collecting, but never quite has bought that first toy. Well, I'm happy to admit that, in yesterday's broadcast that we lost, he announced that he finally bought his first collectible, and he's in the obsession of collecting, so to speak. Which is good. He just chose an odd thing. He chose to start collecting My Little Pony merchandise. I don't judge. I'm a horrendous fan of Doctor Who, Star Wars, Transformers. I will defend them and talk till I'm blue in the face. So if you're a fan of something, you're a fan of something. I don't judge. I mean, what's so weird about a 30-year-old man that lives with his mom that buys rainbow-colored horse toys? Absolutely nothing. So, good on him. I remember him saying he's going to work on some reviews that are coming for his channel. So, we'll probably go over that next week. So, he's into collecting My Little Pony toys. But, start's a start. But anyway, some video game news. Last week in the Xbox Live Arcade and actually PS Plus got it. It was Double Dragon Neon, which is, I guess, a remake / reboot-ish of Double Dragon. Definitely get the trial. PS Plus, you can actually get it for free with the paid service. It's not bad. Like, it's not horrible. Like, it's playable. It does have its handful of problems. Basically, it's Double Dragon, just battered, dipped, and deep fried in 80s cliches and comedy. It's definitely for more of the people that grew up during the 80s. I don't really see it appealing to a younger crowd that have no idea. They just won't get half of the references. They'll just think it's stupid. But it's really neat. The combat's pretty solid. That's kind of one of its problems, because it's a 2D plane, but it takes place in 3D space. So, if a guy's walking here on the screen, I'm a bad guy and you're here, sometimes you don't meet up right for your hits the hit detection. But other than that, it's something, old school gamers we're kind of used to. So, definitely try it before you buy it, but, whatever. It's not horrible. Other video game news, of course, Borderlands 2 hits, is it still, no, it's not midnight yet, so it hits Tuesday, September 18th, which I think it'll probably be by the time this is uploaded. I wouldn't mind playing through it. I've been talking to friends about it. My thing was, I'm sure it'll sell great, it'll win awards, blah, 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 all the praise in the world. But my thing is it's the same as the first game. Now, not that there's necessarily anything wrong with that, because the first game was really good, and I'm definitely a supporter of if it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't just change something to change it. But, yeah, even if I was employed and had the money to buy it, I would still be kind of reluctant, sort of thing. But, depending on how many people I knew were getting it, just for the sheer co-op fun of it, I would probably invest in it. But that's coming out. Also, this coming week, a Jet Set Radio HD remake comes out, which I'll admit I probably do want, so I'll have to try and get points for that. Also, kind of interesting, with Borderlands 2, made by Gearbox Software, they had an interview with the president of the company, Randy Pitchford, talking about Borderlands 2 in general, whatever they're working on. He brought up that he would like to make more Duke Nukem titles. If you don't know, they bought the whole property, the whole shebang of Duke Nukem when they decided to release Duke Nukem Forever, which was a pretty horrible game. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is that game was being made for 15 years. It's bits here, bits there, bits here, bits there, ideas here, ideas there. All they did was take what they had, try to fill in the blanks, and just put it together so it worked. I commend them for that, but that's why the game seemed outdated. That's why it didn't, it wasn't what it should have been. They were just putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And so I think one from the ground up could probably do really good. Now, it will be a hard sell. I'm not going to say that. Especially after Forever, which you can get brand new at GameStop now for $5. Yeah. But, so that's kind of cool. Other arcade news, something new. Coming this week, also, you'll get the Resident Evil 6 demo. And recently, in some different news, there's Microsoft, and there's kind of like what's umbrellaed under it, I guess you could say. It's a part of the company called Play XBLA, and basically it's the Xbox Live Arcade part of the gaming company. They recently renewed the copyright for Killer Instinct. So, who knows? Could be re-release, reboot, HD remake. Who knows? Fingers crossed. They could just be renewing it so no one else makes it. Just to be assholes. But, it's kind of, that's all that is known, is that they redid the copyright. Also, big video game news. The Wii U got announced for November 18th. Cheapest version is $300. It's sold out damn near everywhere, and that just boggles my damn mind. Hey, that's some serious fanboyness right there. my main point, we had a pretty lengthy discussion about it on the episode that we lost, but Bullet Marks did agree with my point of, here's my thing about the Wii U. They've had all this time to sit there. They were first out of the gate of the next-gen consoles, or pretty close to first. 360 had already been out, but but like, they've had all this time seeing what 360 has developed into, seeing what PS3 has developed into. They've had the benefit of seeing what works and what doesn't work for both of those systems combined. And the best they can do is come up with 4-year-old tech inside of a rounded out Wii with a tablet? No. No. I got the new Game Informer. They're making a huge deal. It actually kind of pisses me off. They're making a huge deal about new Super Mario Brothers for Wii U. That's in HD. Whoopity-doo. That's only been old for 4 or 5 years now. I said it once before, and I'll say it again. All we, or Nintendo as a whole, had to do was catch up. Just, stupid gimmick they'll put in with it aside. I knew that was coming. It'd be some kind of stupid motion, something gimmick. The gimmick for this one is the tablet. But all they had to do was catch up, and they couldn't even do that. The most catch-up thing they did was HD, which I'm pretty sure they just did, because if they didn't, it would have been embarrassing. But, if you're buying one, more power to you. It just does absolutely nothing for me whatsoever. I think, I can appreciate their effort of trying to get the real games on it, but, like Bayonetta 2 been announced as exclusive, and they got a version of Arkham City and a version of Call of Duty coming to it, but to me, it's going to be just stupid, because they're going to make some stupid gimmick with it with that little tablet. It's just like, I've seen it for Arkham City. It's like, oh, I want to use a gadget, and on PS3 or 360, you just push a button and brings up a menu and you pick your gadget. Oh, not on Wii U, no. You got to integrate this little tablet, and you got to look down from your TV that doesn't pause the game and pick something and then use it. That's ridiculous, just for whatever. But so that's announced. It's hitting November 18th. The cheapest is $300. The biggest bundle in America is $350. Yeah. Now, like I said, it is sold out everywhere, so, who knows. So, that's about it for video game news. Had a little bit of toy news in the beginning concerning bullet marks. Nothing super big has come down the collectibles pike lately. Lego Star Wars is kind of expanding. They got some stuff from the MMO, the Old Republic, coming. They have a big, I've seen the box in stores. It apparently builds a pretty large set. Some Sith ship. I don't play the game. I know I say I'm a Star Wars fan, but I don't, like that stuff I don't know that much about, because I just haven't interacted with it. But basically, it's the Sith big troop carrier from the Old Republic, and the Jedi, I guess, pre-X-Wing, their ship sort of thing. They look kind of cool. So those are coming or are in stores now. I think it's kind of cool that they're expanding what they're making sets of. I mean, granted, they've pretty much made a set of everything else in the Star Wars universe. Excuse me, heartburn. But, it's there. Let's see, a couple other neat little things. I've known about for a while, just never really went to it. There's a site called TF Source, for Transformers. And, of course, you can find these other sites, too. But you can get them there. They have, they have fan-made stuff. And what I say about fan-made is it's not like a huge retail release. Like, you're not going to be able to go to Toys R Us or Target and find these on shelves. It's fan-made custom toys that have a very limited run. And, the newest ones to hit, which I would love to have one of, are the Mastermind Creations. That's kind of like the brand. And it's a set of the Seekers, which is Starscream, Thundercracker, Skywarp. But they don't have those names for copyright infringement. I actually forget those names. Like, they've done Optimus, Nemesis Prime, and Shockwave, but it was like Optimus was called like Night Morpher, I think. Yeah, Night Morpher. Shockwave was called Cyclops. I honestly forget what the Seekers are called, but they're kind of weird play on the name sort of thing. But the ones that they're making now are from a comic they did a while back called Hearts of Steel, wherein the G1 robots didn't wake up when in the 80s, or the more recent kind of redone in the modern age. They kind of woke up during the steam age, like the revolutionary age, and like Optimus is a train, Shockwave is a giant river paddle boat sort of thing, and the Seekers are kind of steampunky airplanes. And honestly, in its vehicle mode, looks like a steampunk Batwing. It's crazy looking in both modes. The Seeker set, each of them individually, are about $90 a pop before shipping. The other ones are quite expensive, but you're paying for a very exclusive thing. Like I said, it's not something, that, once they're sold out, that's pretty much it, unless they go back and remake them. So that's kind of cool. Let's see, I got my little notes here, that's what I'm looking at. But yeah, a couple, if you're into Kamen Rider, the new series Wizard, on a bunch of imports toy sites, they have the new driver. Usually runs before shipping in America. It's about $90, but then you gotta have it shipped from Japan. So, let's see, kind of super big, expensive collectibles that I found. AlterEgoComics.com has a Jack Sparrow premium format statue. Now what that basically is, if you don't know, it's a statue with like cloth clothes and really nice accessories on it. Like they've done a handful of these. I believe Sideshow is one of the major producers, how you want to word it. They make them basically. Now it is pretty tall. It's 20 inches tall and 25 pounds shipping weight, so it's solid. And it retails before shipping $341.99, and it does look really spectacular. It's kind of like him standing up on a rock. He's got like a sword in one hand, and he's just like looking, and spot on likeness, all that good stuff. Another kind of big high-end thing I found, if you're an old school fan, over on BigBadToyStar.com, they have a statue of Castle Grayskull, like the castle. It's about 10 inches all the way around, like 10 inches high, 10 inches wide, and 10 inches, and it's just the castle. Looks spectacular. Like if I had a really good He-Man collection, or Masters of the Universe, like I know Matty Collector was doing the Masters of the Universe Classic line, that would make like the best display for it, is to have that in the background. And it runs $114.99 before shipping, so not cheap either. Other than that, just a handful of sales here and there. I know Big Bad Toy Store is having a sale. A lot of older Transformers on it. Let's see, some other site was having a sale, but it kind of escapes me at the moment, unfortunately. But anyway, hopefully it hasn't been too boring. Hopefully I provided you with some moderate useful information. And like I said, if nothing else, this won't make us 2 episodes behind next week. That was mostly the point of it. So, it's just me, Cthulhu the Dark One, without Mr. Bullet Marks, my normal co-host, for the Roundtable episode 16. And once again, to Mr. Bullet Marks, congratulations on finally getting into collecting. Don't know why you picked rainbow-colored horses, but if that's your thing, that's your thing. I don't judge. So until next time, peace.